Hey, sorry about that, the last one on part one, if any of you guys haven't seen it. But anyways, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and fangirls especially. Let me just look at my digital clock real quick. Alright, it's over there. Everything's good to go. So, hopefully you guys saw part one. I know it was like 4 or 5 minutes long. It wasn't that long. I was only talking about Trapeus and Walring when I did my first video. And let me just do something real quick. There we go. I had to put like cushions on this fucking seat because it's crappy as fuck. It smacks the hell out of my ass really bad. Hold on a sec. Of course, I got some purified drinking water, real good shit. I suggest you get it if you're working out and shit. Anyways, without further ado on that, hopefully you guys saw part one. I'll put the link down in the description box below. If you didn't see me go over number 10 and number 9, which was Walrein and Trapeus. So coming in at number 8, and this one, top 10 greatest Hoenn 3rd gen Pokemon of all time, is, I was going to say Feebas, his name's Huntail. I was going to say Gorbis, the other one, but no, it was this one. The thing I really liked about this Pokemon, the pros and the cons that I loved about it the most, the features on this thing looks beast as fuck. I actually thought it was going to be a water dark type. I think it might have been a dark type, I'm not sure. And then sadly, I think they just made it a pure water type. I really wish this would have had a lot more credibility, because a lot of people didn't really give a shit about Clamperl that much because it's extremely weak as hell unless it learned like Iron Defense or whatever. That was pretty fucking a force to be reckoned with. Other than that, it's kind of crap. So it ends up, if you get a Deep Sea Tooth, you end up evolving into this thing, Huntail. If you get a Deep Sea Scale, you get a Gorbis, which I don't have a picture of. I could show it to you, but I don't feel like it because I'm kind of lazy as shit like that. You could just search the name Gorbis yourself. You exactly should know what that looks like by now, especially if you're an old school Pokemon fan like myself. For first, second, or third gen, it's all good. Another reason why I really like this Pokemon, it had a lot of dark type moves like Dark Pulse, Crunch Attack. What else was dark type move? Payback was good. A couple other ones that are really, really amazing on there. If you hear dogs barking in the background, I apologize on that in the future if you do hear them. Anyways, other than that, one more thing that was cool about this Pokemon was the shiny sprite for it. It was really freaking amazing. Beautiful green color. Awesome as fuck. Epic as hell. Extremely hard, thick defense and special attack in this thing. So if any of you guys are in the OU, RU, NU tier, metagames and all that shit, this is definitely the Pokemon for you. Even though it's speed, unfortunately, I can't say it's not the fastest of the fast. Kind of like slow to mediocre. That kind of, you know, meh type of thing. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. The fangs look really amazing on this thing too. This thing didn't get a lot of credibility in the anime. I think they only showed it in one episode. They showed Gorbis a little bit more than Huntail, and I was a little pissed off at that. But beggars can't be choosers, so he's number 8. So coming in at number 7, mostly people should know this by now. He's actually going to be in my top 5 that I reconsider because I made him number 1 a few times on my other top 10 list. Is Metagross. I already talked about him before in my top 10 best Pokemon of all time ever for all the regions. So when I mixed them up, or best steel types, I think that was the one right there. So Metagross or Metagross, however you want to say, I usually call him Metagross. So Metagross, you know, he's a really thick ass, one of the first steel psychics to ever come out of the 3rd generation, besides Deoxys and Jirachi being the legendary event Pokemon, obviously. He was just like barely a legend at all, because he's right before Latios, the 3 Reggies, and Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, however you want to say that name. And the reason why I love this one so much, obviously has a huge ass ridiculous amount of fucking special defense, and defense, by the way. Its attack and special attack is extremely off the charts. The only thing that it's lacking is his speed. It's like 50-60 base speed, so he's going to be slow as hell. He's not always going to get the first hits unless he uses like, well actually no, I was going to say Rock Polish, but that's for rock type Pokemon, so never mind. Just completely forget that I just said that. So there's that, and another reason why he was really cool, he was actually in the Destiny Deoxys movie, if any of you guys remember seeing that one. I think he was in one of the 5th generation fights when Ash battles one of the Unova League Pokemon people, whatever. I know in 4th gen he makes another appearance later on, which I forgot where it was. If Steven ever came back, I think in the Sinnoh region, or Johto region, when they recreated Heart Gold Soul Silver. I love the card art in this thing in the trading card game, aka the TCG games. I don't have any of its cards. I know I have a Beldum and a Metang from like Boundaries Cross and the Plasma series, Plasma Storm, Freeze, and Blast. Another really cool reason I like this Pokemon, the shiny sprite is fucking ridiculous on this thing. Epic, phenomenal, perfection in every way, shape, and form that I could think of off the top of my head. Another reason why I really like this Pokemon, the beautiful, amazing, like sick-ass red eyes that it has, you know, that big giant X that it has on it. It's like a force to be fucking reckoned with. This looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, literally. I would have had to compare it to the 90s. I don't know, something out of Cat Dog, one of the sci-fi episodes or whatever they had, or a Doctor Who episode. I don't know. I'm not really crazy about Doctor Who or any of the big time media, mainstream media kind of things like Breaking Bad. I know that ended like 2-3 months ago, but people are still really into it. What else is still big on there? Dexter was old a long time ago. Then you had Game of Thrones is still pretty big to this day. I really don't give a shit about that one either. Maybe if I would have been into Skyrim or something like that, I probably would be huge into it, but I'm not really into Skyrim. I'm more into like the Bioshock, Assassin's Creed kind of thing instead. But other than that, you know, kudos to the person that made this. Of course, Ken Sugimori made all the designs for the Pokemon. So I gotta give credit where credit is due to you, Mr. Ken Sugimori. If anybody can translate this into Japanese, you know, arigato and all that stuff, that's cool, because only thing I know is English and Spanish, or Espanol, that's it. I don't know anything else besides that. And there's Metagross, or Metagross, however you want to say. So coming in at number 5, 8, 7, actually no, coming in at number 6, excuse me, is Lairon. As I like to call him, Lairon. I don't know why I just like calling it Lairon, because Lairon, I don't know what it is. It doesn't suit me. I like calling it Lairon instead of Lairon. I don't give a shit if it's wrong or not. Too fucking bad if you don't like it. Except for my subscribers and main viewers, you guys are awesome as hell. Everyone else, you know, just fuck off if you don't agree. I'm sorry. So Lairon, excuse me, that's how I like saying it. The reason why I like Lairon so much, I don't know what it was, but back in the 3rd generation when after Rhyhorn and Rhydon pretty much got all their shine taken away from the 3rd generation, from after Johto and everything, I always thought this Pokemon, when I first saw it in the Pokemon magazine, if any of you guys remember strategy guidebooks, they still sell them to this day. Unfortunately, they're a lot less popular because if people want cheat codes, they either look at a person's Let's Play video or, you know, they'll just go on something like IGN or, you know, Planet something, Pokemon or whatever, or Game Shark, whatever other cheat code gaming websites out there, they'll just go to that, or they'll just look at a Let's Play instead of paying 12 or 14 bucks for a guidebook. Because there's very few people at this time in the gaming industry, they really don't buy very many strategy guides, unfortunately, unless they're like collectors or something. They just pretty much go on the internet to see if they got all the answers there, you know? That's their guidebook these days. You know, technology is freaking astounding as shit. Scary at the same time, but that's for like my alternative media stuff. So coming in on this shit right here, the reason I like Lairon, because I thought it was going to be a new evolution of Rhyhorn and Rhydon. I don't know what it was a distant cousin to it. Except it had the blue eyes again, like it does when it evolves into Aggron. And who would have thought in a million years later it ends up getting a Mega Evolution for the 6th generation. That thing looks epic as fuck. Unfortunately, it loses its it loses its rock type, and it's just pure steel after that. And then it ends up not getting the rock hit ability, just gets sturdy, and then a different ability that's strictly exclusive for the 6th generation for the Kalos region. Let me drink my water again because my throat's running dry as fuck. If any of you guys haven't told by now. Another reason why this thing is really amazing and outstanding to the fullest, I love the nice little Richter scales it has on the back of its spikes. You could kill somebody with that fucking thing. That's the fucking thing though. It's funny because, you know, obviously this is a kid show. They won't have any certain deaths. They just tell the Pokemon that they're fainted. They don't die, you know? Of course, if Pokemon were real, they'd end up dead really fucking fast, and government would pretty much get involved and take away all of them. Unfortunately, they'll probably end up killing most of them. Not that, they'll probably use them to enslave us. That's all I'm saying, if they were into our world, in the world of reality and shit. That would be awesome as fuck, though, I'm not gonna lie. Except for the enslavement part, that wouldn't be cool. Other than that, now I'm going way off topic now. Really, really amazing Pokemon. It had a lot of good Steel-type moves at its prime, you know. Had Aggron. I'm not sure if there was a prime for that back in the Triumphant. Let's see if I can find that thing. If it's around. I actually did an unboxing or opening for it. As you can tell, it's already open and stuff. I opened it a while back. Good stuff there. The only good thing I got was a reverse holo on Venomoth and a Spiritomb holo, and that was it. And then that one I got a reverse holo Venomoth again, and then I got a Dugtrio plain, which was kind of crap, but beggars can't be choosers. You could check that video out. I'll put it down in the description box below if you want to check any of my unboxings on my Nintendo Free 2011 channel. So I don't really do them here. I only do speed runs of it once every 3 months. So next month, 2014, I will be doing that. So stay on the lookout for that shit. Let's get back to this. The only con that I had with this Pokemon, besides its speed being really slow as shit, is the sturdy ability, because it only lets you live one time if you get hit by a super effective move. It's pretty much like the ability version of Endure, except you combine it together, then you only get one shot, and if they hit you again, then you die, which kind of sucks. And the shiny one I'm not too crazy about. I actually like the plain, like ordinary color version of it more than the shiny version. I don't know what it is. That's just my opinion on it because it's not as cool as the regular version. I don't know what it is. That's just my overall thoughts, views, and opinions. And I like the really cool ass little cufflinks. I don't know if you can see them right there. This big giant fucking claws. That thing will slash the shit out of you if that was real. That would be a huge problem. That's for sure. They'd be eating steel and concrete. They'd pretty much be destroying buildings by them eating anything that's concrete or steel. So that's number 6 on the list. Number 5 is actually Mawile, or as I like to call it, Maywile. And then I actually have its Mega Evolution right here, but I'm going to get to this one right here later. So yeah, the reason why I love Maywile so much, I really wish it would have got a second evolution, but we didn't get it until years later for the Kalos region, the 6th generation. I'm going to get to that one next week, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering. Or the week after, we'll see. The reason why I liked Maywile so much is besides the cuteness and the adorableness that it has, you know, the thing wouldn't hurt a fly, except unfortunately this thing in the back of its head, this giant piranha thing, pretty much break your body in half and you'll be bleeding to death. If that thing was fucking real. Even though, don't let the cuteness and adorableness fool you, because it ends up being a steel fairy later on when it gets to the Mega Evolution, which, in all due respect, actually surprised the fuck out of me, literally. I'm not gonna lie. That thing completely took me off guard when it got a second evolution, which I'm gonna get to in a minute. I love the nice little red eyes that it has, and I already know there's a lot of little hentai versions of this thing. I've actually seen them myself. Half of them were okay. I'm not that crazy about it. The other half wasn't too bad. It's kind of amateur, and the rest were kind of shit. I'm sorry for all the artists out there. I'm really sorry that I had to dish you like that, but I had to put you on blast with it, you know. Another reason why this Maywile thing is really awesome, it's one of the smallest steel-type Pokemons to date. Literally. This is like the Flabébé or the Clefairy or whatever. I forget that's its real name now, because, you know, X and Y has been out almost 3 months already. And a lot of people already know their names and stuff. Unfortunately, I don't know every single name still because I haven't bought in the game and purchased it myself, but I have seen all the names on YouTube already. I already know all the themes and music and everything, thanks to the internet. Can't thank it enough. Another reason why this thing is really freaking badass, balls to the wall, is that it's extremely fucking fast. One of the first Pokemon to ever get the attack Fake Tears. You know, that always surprised me. I'm surprised they didn't put a thing called realistic tears instead of fake fantasy tears. You know, probably would have been like a, you know, Psychic type move or something. I don't know. Now, the only con that I have with this Pokemon is that back in the day, I know I keep going back to this, it didn't have any second evolution. I don't think there would have been no such thing as a pre-evolution because it's so small already. It's already baby size, you know. There's no way in hell that you can kill this thing. I used to use this thing all the time back when I had Ruby and Sapphire, which I actually still have the really, really old cartridge of it, if any of you guys can see that. Pokemon Sapphire. Other than that, another reason why I really, really love this thing is that it's freaking adorable. Its cuteness is amazing. It knows Attract. It was one of the first Pokemon I actually used for the Elite Four back in the days, besides Metagross, Salamence. I think I had Blaziken, Swellow, and then Groudon back in my Pokemon Ruby about 10, 11 years ago. While back, way back in my middle school days. I had a lot of issues with bullying and shit. I'm not going to get into that crap because I ended up getting in a lot of fights with that shit. But that's more of a real side. Maybe if I get 200 subs or something, I might go more into depth with it. But until then, that remains a secret and locked. Now let's get to its Mega Evolution real quick, right here. Mega Mawile, Mega Maywile, however you want to say it. And I already saw this Pokemon right here, Metagross, you gotta go, you gotta go. There goes my list right there, just in case you guys are interested. The reason why I liked Mega Maywile, I'm not going to say too much on it because I'm going to save it for the Kalos region. The freaking beauty and the essence that this thing has is fucking balls to the wall, badass. Every shape, way, and form I could think of, and positively, absolutely a game changer for the fucking fairy steel types now. That's all I'm going to say about it because I'm going to save it more for the 6th gen when I do that video. So coming in at number 4, I think it's, yeah, number 4 on the list is Combusken. Most of you are wondering why I don't have Blaziken on this list, because I feel, in my personal opinion, it's already got so much fame and glory after Pokemon Troze, Pokemon Pinball back in the Game Boy Advance era. What else? In 4th generation, it got a little bit of glory, and the XD Gale of Darkness, somebody got some glory. In Battle Revolution, they got a shit ton of glory. 5th generation, it was kind of pushed to the side, nobody cared about it very much. And then when we got to the Kalos region, it got a Mega Evolution. That kind of pissed me the fuck off a little bit. And I'll tell you why in a second, but let's get to Combusken first before I go on a rant here. The reason why I love Combusken, look at those huge ass fucking claws. I don't know what it is. It's like I got a claw fetish for some reason. I don't know why. It just is what it is. Don't question the logic, you know? But other than that, the reason why I love this Pokemon so damn much is that It was one of May's Pokemon back in the Pokemon Advanced battles. I think you guys ever seen that anime back in the day. It was after Misty left and May took over Misty's spot, and later on Dalton would take over May's spot, and Iris did the same thing, and now we had Serena's taking all their spots, and I guess Bonnie if you want to put her there too, or Eureka, or Eureka in the Japanese version, because I was watching a lot of the dub version. I was watching a lot of that, Kill la Kill and Soul Eater for some reason. I don't know why. Even though Soul Eater's an old anime, fuck it, it's all good. I've been really into Kill la Kill lately. I don't know what it is. That chick is fucking awesome. Same people that made the painting and stocking thing from IGN. I actually did a video on that a couple months ago. If you want to check out that painting and stocking video, I'm not going to put in the link down below. You can just search it yourself. And the reason why I love Combuskin so damn much, besides the eyes and the really awesome looking thing, the first firefighting Pokemon to ever get recognition, literally, besides Blaziken, because after that, you know, it started getting a little competitive when Monferno and Fernet for 4th Gen got firefighting, and then Emboar got it, and Pignite got it, and 6th generation, thank God it didn't happen with Brinox or Brainox and Delphox for Kalos region. Thank God it ended up being Fire Psychic instead of Fire Fighting, because that shit would have been extremely fucking ridiculous. I'm just telling you for the fact right now, that would have been shit. Another reason why this thing is cool, two other things, the pros for it, is that besides it being the first firefighting Pokemon, the exclusive move that it had back in the days was Blaze Kick. No other Pokemon could learn that at that time in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald at its prime, except for Blaziken and Combuskin. I'm not sure if Torchic was able to learn it because it didn't have any arms yet, it only had little legs. I wouldn't be surprised if it did though, if you had breeding training with it. Another really cool thing I like about the Lacero thing is beautiful design that it has. Basically a rooster that's on steroids, that's what it is. If any of you guys are Puerto Rican and shit out there, all my Mexican, Mexicanos out there, Hispanics, I'm just talking to you right now. You already know what cockfights and shit are about, especially if you've been out there yourself. Unfortunately, I've never been to the islands myself. Maybe one day I will. See my old man side of it. That'd be awesome as shit. And yeah, let's get to the con now. The only con I had with it is after this trend ended up happening, it started getting really repetitive with the other Pokemon, like I just said. All the freaking fire starters ended up getting firefighting, firefighting, firefighting. That shit got really fucking boring after that. When we got that fucking Pignite and Emboar. That shit kind of pissed me off a little bit. Why couldn't they put something like Fire Water, or Fire Ground, or Fire Rock, Fire Electric, you know? Or Fire Psychic, which they ended up doing later on with Brainox and Delphox, but that's for another story. And that's the only problem I have with it, and that's it. Well, that's coming in number 4 in the last 3 Pokemon. Marshtomp, and I think I talked about Swampert already. He was my second favorite besides Sceptile being my number 1. I really wish that thing would have been a Grass Dragon, which I'm going to get to him in a minute. And it's going to be all the middle evolutions Pokemon. Spoiler alert there. The reason why Marshtomp is a really good ass Pokemon is because it's the first, actually no, it was the second or third water ground. After 2nd generation, we already had that with Wooper and Quagsire, which they were derpy as shit Pokemon. A lot of people could admit that to themselves, that shit was derpy and crappy as hell. If it would have been a mega evolution of like Quagsire, that would have been awesome as hell. Epic as fuck. I wouldn't have no issue with it whatsoever. It's, you know, for the life of me. Another really cool ass thing I liked about it is it's one of the first Pokemon that could learn Muddy Water in the 3rd generation Hoenn region. I thought that was really, really super epic as hell. Fantastic in every shape, way, or form, and I loved every single moment of it. I used this thing on the Elite Four too. Ow, I almost hit my head on that thing. Dirt fucking me, you know? But other than that, another really cool thing I loved about this Pokemon is the really crazy brown eyes it was rocking. It had all those fins in the back. That was kind of like a steroid version of Marrow and Azumarill. I don't know what it was, but that's how I felt it was. It was a Marrow and Azumarill in my eyes. And I know Brock had it in the animes. Swampert, Mudkip, Swampert, and no, Mudkip, Marshtomp, and Swampert. I don't know what it was. I always got Marshtomp and Swampert's name mixed up every single time I would say their name. Not as much as I did before, but sometimes every now and then I will get it mixed up. And Gale of Darkness, this thing was really badass in some of the Troze games and the Pokemon Rescue Rangers or whatever. I don't know if it was called that, Ranger. And Mystery Dungeon, this thing was boss as fuck. I would use this thing a couple times every now and then just to train it up. And it was really fast swimmer, that's all I knew. And I think it had Swift Swim ability if it didn't have Torrent as its healing ability. Just a heads up there. And the last thing I want to say about it, besides its pros and cons, it didn't have any cons for me. Everything was perfect as hell about this thing. And I loved the crap out of it. And it was one of the starter Pokemon that Professor Birch will give you when it was a Mudkip, you know? And that's why it's number 1. And I love the hell out of this thing. I would use it on the Elite Four and the Brain Frontier. in the Battlefronts here when I had Emerald. I would use the crap out of this thing, overpower it. I think I got level 70 or level 80. It was one of those levels I got it up to. I didn't get to train to level 100 because I got bored of that game after a while. And coming in at number 2, see if I can get it here. It's there. There it is. Number 2 is, I already talked about Mega Man a while. And this one I already talked about before. March down, ba-da-da. And number 2 and 1 is going to be really epic. Number 1, a lot of people you probably saw it already, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. Number 2 on the list is Grovile. The reason why I talked about Grovile before, once again, he was really awesome in Mystery Dungeon. He had a really big part. He played a really good leading role in that in that video game series. Really awesome in Mystery Dungeons. I love the crap out of that fucking movie, by the way. It was super spectacular. The story and the handwriting, the continuity, it was all there, written on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Writings on the fucking wall. It was epic as hell. You cannot complain that that was a badass fucking game. Even though some people could say, oh, it's for news, people that never played Pokemon before. I don't give a shit. That shit was freaking awesome as hell. I love every single goddamn fucking moment. It was epic. It pleased me to the fullest, 110%. I was in awe. I was just literally in astounding. My jaw was just like, what? At the ending part, I'm not going to ruin it. Spoiler alerts for you. After the Darkrai Cresselia thing happens. I'm not going to tell you if you haven't played the game already. So I won't put any spoiler alerts, even though I love putting spoiler alerts. This time I won't. I'll keep my lips tight on that. My lips are sealed on it. But yeah, in the anime it was pretty badass. He would have that little smoking weed kind of twig it would have. When Ash caught it back in the days, when it was Trico, then Grovile, and then Sceptile after that. Its Sceptile was phenomenal as fuck. I still wish, to this day, I would have been a Grass Dragon type. Because that thing knew so many Dragon type moves. Maybe it would have been a Grass Dragon type. Maybe at the last second after the production for the game was done. They probably took it out the last second. So shame on you, Game Freak, if you fucking did that. Because that would have been epic as hell for this thing to be a Grass Dragon type. We still haven't got one of those. If there's a Generation 7, maybe they'll get it. But until then, it's no Grass Dragon, unfortunately. I was looking for that, towards that one. Yeah. With Yama's evolution, Yamega. But it wasn't Bug Dragon. It was just Bug Flying, as always. That pissed me off a little bit too. The only con I did have with this Pokemon is a little bit of a wisecracker, a little smartass. When it was in the Pokemon anime, I wouldn't listen to Ash a couple times. It was kind of like the Charizard, the 3rd generation. That's what I want to say. Even though he was real loyal to Ash, sometimes he would do whatever the hell he wanted, and other times he would flirt with the girl Pokemon. That was the funny thing about it. I think it was in the competition contest like once or twice with Maze to use it in our like ribbon competitions. I'm not sure about that. In the Troze game, he was really funny. I'm not sure in the Rumble U was good or not. He might have been good. He might have been used more or less. Meh. I don't know. And that's all I got to say about the Grovile. And the shiny evolution for this thing is beautiful, phenomenal as hell with the Sceptile. I've seen the little furry burrows on that thing, you know, the Yif Yif porn or whatever. I've seen a couple of them back in the day. Haven't seen a lot nowadays. Sceptile I've seen a couple of, but not Grovile. I'm not going to tell you. There's little kids watching and shit, so don't listen to what I say there. But anyone that's 18 and up, you know what I'm talking about with the Yif furry hentai shit. So coming in at number 1, we got fucking Miss Absol. And the reason why I love this Absol Pokemon so damn much, I already got him in the background if you can't see that right there. I actually pointed to you right there. Right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm hoping you guys see it, and if not, I do apologize in advance. See if that works. Let me see. Bam, right there. If you can see it right there, Absol. So yeah, let's get back to here. If I can get that right. Fucking camera's gonna fall on me. God damn it. Hold on 1 second. Alright. It's gonna be crooked for a while, so just bear with me. So yeah, let's get back to this. The reason why I love Absol so damn fucking much is that, besides its beauty and awesomeness, is that it's a real super speedy Pokemon. I already talked about it like 10 other times in my other top 10 Pokemon. He was really awesome in the anime. I think I only saw him 2 times in the anime, and that was it. They brought him for a little bit in 4th generation and 5th gen. After you beat the Elite Four in the Unova region, you were able to catch it level 47 or 49 when you were trying to get like on Landorus around those routes. I completely forgot what those routes are, but you're going to look at a Bulbapedia if you want to get answers for it, or Cerebi. Another really awesome reason why I really like this Pokemon is just epicness. It's supposed to be the disaster Pokemon. This thing brings hell and chaos to anything that it touches, but in reality, it's really not like that. It actually warns humans that a disaster is about to happen, like how wolves and, like, I don't know, foxes in real life do. You know, sort of like that. If you live in a small village, maybe that's what they do. I don't fucking know. If you're living in the world of reality, I have no fucking idea. And then we got the Mega Evolution for Absol. It has big giant wings. I'm surprised it's still a dark type. I'm surprised it wasn't dark flying like Honchkrow was. Or the Mandibuzz Pokemon was. I'm not sure why they did that. And it had the magic bounce ability. I remember doing that because I did do a couple months ago when I was doing the X and Y reviews and stuff. Most of you guys know that because I was doing it for 10 months straight before it came out in October. That I was really shocked and awed that it wasn't a dark flying type. Most of you guys already know how I feel about Absol if you've been subbed to me for a while, or from my Nintendo Free 2011 channel. Last thing I really like, I love those big sharp fangs that it has on its head and on its feet. Once again, the claws, they are definitely doing it for me. Really nice looking claws. I thought it was going to be in the 6th generation for Kalos, it was going to be like a Furfuru, it was going to be an evolution for Absol, but it wasn't. Had nothing to do with it at all. And the eyes are just pure sadness. I don't know what it is. It's just, this is the last thing you want to fuck with. It was probably slice you into little pieces and you end up being dead and murdered by a Pokemon if it was for real. Unless it was loyal by a real human Pokemon. Then it'd be different. I don't know. And the furry hentai for this is pretty decent. It's not the best in the world. It's fairly decent. Hopefully we get to see it in more movies too. It was like in 4 or 5 Pokemon movies already, so it's pretty damn well known. I only have one Supreme Victor's card of this thing, and as far as the TCG trading card game goes, it's really phenomenal. I think Ken Sugimoto did an amazing, fantastic job making this Pokemon. Epic as hell, whoever had the idea and the brains that God gave him the ability for that shit. Kudos to you, my friend. You are awesome. If you ever see this video, you can translate it into Japanese. I would highly appreciate that. And that's all I gotta say for now. So I don't have any honorable mentions for this video. So like I always say, hopefully you like this top 10 video. And as I always say, this is what it is, ain't what it ain't. See you when I see you guys. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't think I'm reckless. See you soon. Peace out. Lates. Goodbye. I'm out. Two last things before I go. I'm going to be doing a review for Lord of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. I just saw that like 2 days ago. I will be doing it maybe today or tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And that's all I have to say. So like I always say, be easy. Peace out. Lates. Goodbye. And I will talk to you guys soon. Alright? Be easy and stay safe. Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate. Feliz Navidad. All that shit. And talk to you soon. Goodbye. I'm gone. Peace.